In this session, let us discuss the cost volume profit analysis and break-even point. Cost volume profit analysis. Under that, we are going to discuss its meaning, assumptions and uses. Under break-even point, we are going to see how it is calculated, and we are also going to see the break-even point chart. So let us start with CVP analysis, that is cost volume profit analysis. Cost volume profit analysis is also called as break-even analysis. Break-even analysis is of vital importance in determining the practical application of cost functions. It is a function of three factors, that is sales volume, cost and profit. It looks at the impact that varying levels of costs and volume have on operating profit. It determines the break-even point for different sales volumes and cost structures. The break-even point, that is BEP, may be defined as that level of sales in which total revenues equals total cost and net income is equal to 0. This is also known as no profit, no loss point. Let us see the assumptions which are made under CVP analysis. The analysis assumes certain things like sale price per unit is constant, variable costs per unit are constant, total fixed costs are constant. The behavior of both costs and revenues are linear throughout the relevant range of activity. Costs can be classified accurately as either fixed or variable. That is, it means that there are no semi-variable costs. The costs are either fixed or either variable. Changes in activity are the only factors that affect costs. All units produced are sold, and when a company sells more than one type of product, the product mix, that is, the ratio of each product to total sales, will remain constant. With these assumptions, let us see what is the importance of CPV analysis for the firms. The first benefit here is safety margin. The CPV analysis helps the management to know the profits generated at the various levels of sales. The safety margin refers to the extent to which the firm can afford a decline before it starts incurring losses. CPV analysis helps in calculating this margin of safety. It is calculated as sales minus BEP divided by sales into 100. The next importance here is target profit. The break-even analysis can be utilized for the purpose of calculating the volume of sales necessary to achieve a target profit. When a firm has some target profit, this analysis will help in finding out the extent of increase in sales by using the formula fixed cost plus target profit divided by contribution margin per unit. The next one here is change in price. The management is often faced with the problem of whether to reduce prices or not. Before taking a decision on this, the management should consider the profit. A reduction in price leads to a reduction in the contribution margin. This means that the volume of sales will have to be increased even to maintain the previous level of profit. Higher the reduction in the contribution margin, higher is the need for the increase in sales to ensure previous profit. To determine the new volume of sales to maintain the same profit given a reduction in price, the formula that is used here is total fixed cost plus total profit divided by new selling price minus average variable cost. Then the next importance here is change in costs. When costs undergo change, the selling price and the quantity produced and sold also undergo changes. The break-even analysis helps to determine the new quantity or the new selling price to maintain the earlier level of profits. The next point here is decision on choice of technique of production. The break-even analysis is the most simple and helpful in case of decision on a choice of technique of production. By showing the cost of different alternative techniques at different levels of output, the break-even analysis helps the decision of the choice among these techniques. The next one here is make or buy decision. Break-even analysis helps in deciding whether to make or buy a particular component. Firms often have the option of making certain components or for purchasing them from outside the concern. Break-even analysis enables the firm to decide whether to make or buy. The next one here is plant expansion decision. The break-even analysis may be adopted to reveal the effect of an actual or proposed change in operation condition, that is, the impact of a proposed plant on expansion on costs, volume and profits. Break-even analysis also helps in taking plant shutdown decision. The break-even analysis helps the management to decide on plant shutdown option. It also helps to take advertising and promotion mix decision. The break-even analysis helps the management to enable them to take appropriate decision by showing how the additional fixed cost of advertising and promotion cost would influence break-even points. The last one, addition or deletion of product line decision. If a product has outlived its utility in the market, immediately the production must be abandoned by the management and examine its consequent effect on revenue and cost. Alternatively, the management may like to add a product to its existing product line. The break-even analysis helps in taking such a decision. So these are the various important role played by break-even analysis. Now, having discussed its importance, let us see what is break-even point and how is it calculated. Break-even point is defined as that level of sales in which total revenues equal total costs and net income is equal to zero. It is a no profit, no loss point. It can be determined in terms of physical units, that is volume, or money value, that is sales value. Now let us see break-even chart. A break-even chart is a chart that shows the sales volume level at which total costs equal sales. Losses will be incurred below this point and profits will be earned above this point. The chart plots revenue, fixed cost and variable cost on the vertical axis and volume on the horizontal axis. In this diagram, output is shown on the horizontal axis and cost and revenue on vertical axis. Total revenue, that is TR curve, is shown as linear as it is assumed that the price is constant irrespective of the output. This assumption is appropriate only if the firm is operating under perfectly competitive conditions. Linearity of the total cost curve results from the assumption of constant variable cost. It should also be noted that the total revenue curve is drawn as a straight line through the origin, while the total cost curve is a straight line originating from the vertical axis, because total cost comprises fixed cost plus variable cost which rise linearly. In the figure, B is the break-even point at OQ level of output. Above this point, the firm will start earning profit, and below this point, the firm will start incurring losses. Now let us see how to calculate break-even point. As said earlier, break-even point can be calculated either in terms of units or in terms of sales value. So first let us see how BEP is calculated in terms of volume, that is units. So BEP here is calculated as total fixed cost divided by contribution margin per unit, where contribution is equal to selling price minus average variable cost. So BEP is equal to total fixed cost divided by selling price minus average variable cost. BEP in terms of sales value is calculated as fixed cost divided by contribution ratio. Contribution ratio is equal to total revenue minus total variable cost divided by total revenue. Hence, in this session, we discussed CVP analysis. We also saw the importance of CVP, the assumptions that have been made for this analysis. We also studied the BEP and how is it calculated, and with reference to BEP chart, we understood the concept of BEP. In the next session, we shall discuss PV ratio.